It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
Whosoever hears this audio, if they be worthy, shall possess the inside human and superhuman abilities of the world's mightiest metahumans. Accompanying this journey of high-quality nerd commentary, you got my son Colton, a.k.a. Pizza Bar. Talk to the people.
Yo, it's your boy Colton, a.k.a. I'm a demon with a blicky, a.k.a. Horio, because I'm out here for the hoes, and I got a stick on me, if you know what I'm saying.
Y'all should have knew he was coming with AKs when you heard the Lil Wayne lighter flick just now.
Yes,
he caught me
sir.
off guard when he did it. I was like, okay, I see where we going. I see the vision. Okay. As always, you know, my son Gas is in here floating around. Y'all just saw him. He just floating by just now. Know what I mean, in the atmosphere, making sure we stay on point.
Patreon, you could absolutely see it. I'm just saying. Saying. You can see what's happening right now.
And you know who it is? Your boy Dennis, aka Old Dirty Dennis, aka Old Dirty Dende, aka Dr. Zero, aka Perfect Zell. Nigga, I take Cash App too, aka Fleeza, aka Dripolo, nigga, aka The Great Potter Man, aka your girl's Majin Bay, nigga. Me eat you up, aka Chi-Chi, do you love me? Are you riding? aka Master Broshi, aka the Oxtail King, nigga.
The only one you missed. When you call yourself Fleeza, you should have said Fleeza. You monkeys not as fly as me. You monkeys aren't as fly as me. Yes, sir.
Based on the current climate, I didn't do it. The climate is looking kind of crazy.
Honestly, we're in the arc. Basically, where Gohan got one arm and the androids is fucking wilding, nigga. Yo,
that's literally where we are right now. Y'all.
We at right now.
That's literally
Gohan
where we
got
are.
2 arms, but he gonna have 1 arm soon, man.
and he don't got Medicare. and no Obamacare, y'all.
They telling him, bruh, just change your diet.
Yeah, just eat different. Just go to sleep earlier. What are you doing?
You got the same 24 hours in a day, man.
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. What are you doing? Yo, welcome to another issue of the Mighty Metahumans podcast, bro. How you feeling?
Fuck. That's how I'm feeling.
It's been a couple hard weeks. It's been rough.
Yeah.
It's been rough out here.
But today is a light topic.
It's
something that's actually good.
It's light, but it's also
a little heavy.
A little heavy too, because this is something that we've been meaning to do for a while. It just took me a while to like kind of put this together because niggas be in their feelings sometimes. You know what I mean? R.I.P. to Akira Toriyama.
R.I.P. to the legend. Very important person and like everybody's child.
We definitely gonna talk about that. He was 68 passed in March. You know what I mean? Which is crazy because he passed in the year of the dragon. Like that nigga is on point. Even to the end. You know what I mean? Story career. Like and still going. Like it's even after he's passed, you know what I mean? We still got
Daima.
We got Daima, we got Budokai 4, basically, you know what I mean? Like, and there's still more movies and shit, all that to come. Like to give somebody their flowers, like somebody like him and how influential he's been, especially for me and like my art and everything I've been fucking doing. And just anime and bringing that shit to the West, like heavy with Dragon Ball and having a fucking float during the Thanksgiving Day parade, like amazing, absolutely amazing. There's not too much like you could really put on his name that's like negative. I can't think of anything like that. If it wasn't for Dragon Ball, like I don't even know if this podcast is the same way it is because I probably don't get into anime like that.
I think it's very easy to say that if you're a person that listens to this podcast, at some point you were exposed to Dragon Ball Z.
Facts.
And I'm sure at the point that you were exposed to Dragon Ball Z, you didn't really know shit about anime.
No.
Because my personal story was I was watching Dragon Ball Z on like Cartoon Network. So I thought it was just like a Japanese cartoon. I didn't know it was necessarily anime. My first anime was Escaflowne. It was on Channel 5.
Ooh, this nigga's no ball.
But that also like snowballed into like, oh shit, they got Dragon Ball and they got Dragon Ball Z, and then it became like Naruto, Bleach, all these other things. Mm-hmm. But it's a big 3 for a reason. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's not even a big three, bro. That's the Godfather.
It's the real OG for a reason.
Yes.
Like, it put most people on. Like, there's so many memories you could talk about, like going to the library and printing out pictures and putting them in a binder to show your homies different. We could talk about how we invented every Super Saiyan before they even had
He getting on too many topics. Too many topics too fast. You gotta slow down. We gotta slow down. All right, so like he was saying, like, it's beyond big three. This is before the big three. This is Godfather of Shonen. Like, if it's not, it's Goku into everybody else, my nigga. Like, he started that shit for real. Honestly, like, when it comes to, like, when he was talking about being introduced to it, for me, I'm gonna take it all the way back. I remember watching this shit on like channel 11 or channel 9 or some shit like that. And it was all they had was the Namek saga, like the Planet Namek saga. And I think they probably had like 30, 40 episodes, and they played them bitches back to back to back. Like, I remember, like, it got to the point where it's like, damn, when will this nigga Goku get to the planet, my nigga? Like, goddamn. Like, every time, like, it made it up to the point where, like, he was in the ship and it was coming to the planet, they start that bitch over, nigga. Like, he never made it to Namek, nigga. It was fucking insane.
It's funny because, like, I remember that, but I think even before that, because my uncles used to watch Dragon Ball. So, and they had VHSs. And I just remember being like, why the fuck Master Roshi so horny? Like, why this old nigga is so fucking horny? I said, why this show kind of super horny if it's a kid's cartoon? I didn't understand anything about anime, but they threw me into the degenerate world early. They was like, this is what we about. It's crazy. It's not kind of crazy. It is crazy. But guess what? We just joking. I was like, okay, all right.
And to take it a step further, like, after I started watching that shit on channel like 11 or channel 9 or whatever, then for all the niggas that really know ball, Univision, nigga. When that shit was on Spanish channels, nigga, and he finally made it to Namek, but you only could understand that shit in Spanish, nigga. Goku! Like, that shit was hard, nigga. That's the first time I saw Trunks, nigga, in Spanish, nigga. This nigga was Hispanic, my nigga. Hispanic was too fluent, nigga. It was crazy.
El Frieza.
Numero 2 Super Saiyan. That nigga was going crazy, son.
Numero 2. They was like, Super Saiyan?
Super Saiyan? He was going crazy, yo. So shout out to Univision, because y'all held the nigga down before, like, the states caught on, though. Speaking about him being the Godfather of Shonen, we gotta mention, like, the archetypes, the idea of, because I mean, you see it in all, like, damn near all anime now. The fun-loving, kind of goofy, stupid main character that when it's time to get in the trenches, nigga, he be in it for real. That nigga, he got hands.
But you know, this is a Dragon Ball Z episode. But I just gotta tie this into how important Akira Toriyama is, just in the landscape of, like, designs and, like, fantasy worlds.
Oh, no. Save it. This nigga's jumping. We gonna do a whole pop culture,
because, like, I just know
all
that,
the flowers, like, are given today.
Everything that this nigga has done.
We gonna go down the list.
Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z has shaped how he was going to change the landscape of everything.
Yes, we are definitely going to cover all that, because I want to make sure, like I said, he passed in March. Like, it's been a while now. Like, we going to give him all of his flowers. Like, nothing's getting, no stone will be left unturned. So like I was saying, like, archetypes, the idea of, like, that fun-loving main character that get busy when he got that rival. Know what I mean? He got that friend / rival,
that angry nigga
that, you know, he gotta
win
him over.
Those. He gotta
win him over, but once he wins him over,
he got a couple of them.
You part of the gang now. Like, that's how he work you into the gang. Like, Luffy does the
I'm just
the good
saying,
friend. He does
started off the enemy, and it's gonna sound funny, the enemy to lover pipeline.
Yes.
Like, he was like, listen, I just whooped your ass.
Listen,
let's get stronger together.
Exactly.
Let's fuck other people up together.
And the thing is, like, if you was one of his rivals and you didn't like that nigga at first, it's hard not to like this nigga, because he just be trying to fight and be whimsical and eat, nigga. Like, He not even holding over your head like, yo,
kind of
move over second place, nigga.
Look,
like
listen,
he just want to fight. Like, yo, you want to train? Yo, let's train right now.
We know the story. He was born. He fell on his head. He got fun CTE, and he kept fun CTE for the rest of his life.
The rest of his fucking life.
We know who he is. He's basically Michael Irvin. Like, he's basically, what are you going to do when they walk in your house? Eat your food. He's basically that nigga. He's just overly competitive, but he loves the game. He loves
just for the
hustle.
love of the game. He's ace, nigga. He's Mitch. I love the game. Yo, you think if they don't got Dragon Balls, they gonna miss me?
Yo, exactly. Yo, he's like, yo, I'm just looking for the next fight.
Yo,
and look, listen. Usually, I'm a Goku slanderer. That's my usual thing.
And I feel like a lot of people are.
But guess what? It's out of respect. It's because the nigga is too strong.
It's triple OG, bro.
His brain kind of don't keep up with how strong he actually is. But guess what? It's a strength.
Exactly. See,
so I gotta acknowledge that if he was smarter, he might be worse.
See, exactly. See, Goku is the perfect example of a nigga with street smarts and not book smarts, nigga.
Yeah.
Because when it's time to get in the streets,
he's all feeling the reaction.
That's the person I'm calling, nigga. I'm not calling him for Jeopardy, nigga.
That's why Ultra Instinct is perfect.
Yes.
Because it's he's just an instinctual nigga. They told you straight up, yo, bro, the nigga just is pure battle acumen. That's all he is. He's pure battle acumen. And he has childlike thought process and whimsy. He has a child. He wears his inner child outside.
Yes.
So, yeah, and that could tie into a lot of things we're going to talk about later. But yeah, go ahead.
Exactly. So, what he was talking about earlier about pop culture, just overall influence with Dragon Ball, with Akira Toriyama in general. I think one of the number one things is if you've never watched the episode of Dragon Ball, you walk up to somebody in the street and you do the Kamehameha, nigga, it's so well fucking known.
They know what it is.
Everybody know what that shit looks like once you put your hands like that, nigga. That is universal. Regardless if you don't know where it's from, you know that shit. You've seen that shit.
Or go into any circle and do this. Ha! Ha! Niggas gonna be like, he doing that Dragon Ball Z shit.
It's over 9,000, nigga.
It is. It's over 9,000. Talking about scouters. Come on, man. The culture is deep. Vegeta, Goku, Gohan, Piccolo is black. Come on, man. The culture is deep.
Dragon Ball is the Star Wars of anime, nigga. There's mad people who don't know the story of Star Wars, but they know who Luke Skywalker is just off the strength. They just know him by, at least they know, Luke, I am your father.
Boom.
They know this shit.
I got a perfect point to prove how bigger Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z is than itself. Most people that are anime fans now that love Dragon Ball Z think that Dragon Ball Z Abridged is real. Facts. And that's the first Dragon Ball that they've ever interacted with. And it's kind of insane that something is so big that in the early days of YouTube, somebody was like, we about to just make it funny. We about to just do a parody voiceover.
Yep.
And it has become canon for people. Should just show how ridiculous it's a cultural phenomenon.
Listen,
at this
my
point.
nigga, Goku, you can go to any mall in America and they got Goku with swishes in a fucking bubble coat.
Goku
nigga,
in backward gear has gone quadruple diamond. No, quadruple diamond in the hood.
Yes.
That
is a fucking fact, nigga.
Goku in Mexico is a saint.
He's a god.
He's a god out there. I'm not even gonna lie. In Mexico, Goku, yo, is their man.
That's the big homie, nigga.
The Dragon Ball Z is their shit. So it's just it's literally a cultural phenomenon. Cause bro, I had
gangsters get chubby and go to fucking Miami. Not Goku, nigga. He go to Mexico.
He go to Mexico, my nigga. Real talk. Yo, honestly, at this point, free game for the future Dragon Ball Z employers and people that make it. you gotta do a one-shot of arc where Goku's in Mexico.
That's
Gotta
a
do
fucking
it.
fact,
Gotta
nigga.
do it just
You
for
gotta
them
put 'em out
one
there.
time. You know they gonna come out for that.
Listen.
So, but other than that, I'm just saying I had cousins in Trinidad that would call me and we would talk about Dragon Ball Z. You know what I'm saying? Like this is like that was our connection, like internationally. Like so, it's just like Akira Toriyama did like a very crazy thing. Like he is pop culture.
Yes, there's so many things that they fucking play such a huge part in. For example, Goku has, like I mentioned earlier, this nigga has a float now. Like this nigga's up there with fucking Charlie Brown and like the Peanuts.
And
nigga.
he opened the door for niggas like Naruto to get a float.
Yes, this nigga was an ambassador. I just want y'all to think about how ill this nigga is. This nigga was an ambassador for the Summer Olympics in Tokyo. He's not a real person, y'all.
Real.
He's not a real nigga,
you know how?
son.
Hold on. Let me put this. No. Let me put this in terms you can understand. Our ambassador in France was Snoop Dogg, who's a real person. Hold on. Real quick. Hold on. You continue to
like
talk.
why he's doing that. Like, I just want y'all to think about that. Like, Tokyo was like, yo, this nigga is so ill, we gotta make him an ambassador. Like, this cartoon nigga is so fucking ill. He gotta represent us at the Olympics, y'all. At the fucking Olympics. Goku's that guy. Like, period. Like, regardless if you're no longer a fan or you moved on to other anime, you gotta respect the legend regardless. Know what I mean? Especially in a time like this. Shit. We was talking about swishers and fucking like Nike jackets on t-shirts in the mall, nigga. We gotta talk about anime button-ups, nigga. He was going triple platinum in middle school, nigga.
Yo,
them Dragon Ball Z
shit. Actually, I'm about to get one soon. A lot of the homies actually still have them.
Listen,
if you came to school with the button-up with Goku, Vegeta, Gohan with the Piccolo gear, Trunks with the jean jacket,
yes sir,
and they was all Super Saiyan on that shirt, you was the man. If you pulled up in the shirt, and you know what I'm about to do, y'all know what I'm about to do.
Exactly, nigga.
This Goku shirt, nigga. The full body pose, nigga.
If you don't got the Patreon, it's hurting you right now to not get this foot.
Pose, nigga. You don't know ball.
You don't know ball.
I don't know. Like,
you don't know ball for real. The fact that Dragon Ball, I don't know how many people worked at Funimation, but these niggas kept the lights on with Dragon Balls, man. Like Dragon Ball alone kept the lights on. This nigga, there's no Toonami without fucking Dragon Ball. Once they brought them the Cell Saga, Android Saga, all that shit to the West, that revolutionized what Toonami could do, nigga. Like, that opened the door for them to bring in Outlaw Star and all these other animes at that time. Like, Dragon Ball is responsible for all that shit. OG of fucking power levels and power-ups. All that shit you see in, like, animes now where it's like you transform to get stronger, nigga.
Yo.
Trace it back to the OGs,
Also,
nigga.
hilariously enough, Goku was the mainstay of the 2020 like mascots for like Japan.
Told you.
But they also had Sailor Moon, Naruto, Luffy, Astro Boy, and Crayon Shin-Chan. And if y'all know Crayon Shin-Chan is the fucking best. But at the end of the day, if we talking about OGs, nigga. Like, okay, I'll put it in the simplest terms like this. And this is not to misgender anybody or misgender any people or say that, like, this is only specifically for this. When we were younger, Sailor Moon was for girls, Dragon Ball Z was for boys.
If Goku is the godfather, Sailor Moon is the godmother,
we would mix and match because, again, I was vocal about liking Sailor Moon when I was younger. When we was younger, we was also idiots. So most dudes would pretend like they didn't like Sailor Moon, but dudes like Sailor Moon. They couldn't say anything. Yo, you know how I knew dudes like Sailor Moon? Because I would hear shit like this. Sailor Moon, I really like Tuxedo Mask, though. Like, yeah, nigga, you like the show. You actually like the show.
Exactly.
Like, so, again, Godfather, Goku, Sailor Moon, Godmother.
Yes. Another thing I
Shout
definitely
out Usagi, man.
I'll attest to them is at that time, especially in the West, we were so used to like shows where there was a villain of the week. Like think of Power Rangers, like most villains that's not like Goldar, you one and done. Like after the third, you get like 23 minutes to be the big nigga, and that's it, and then you're out of here, and next week we get another one. They did villain arcs where it was a build up to this top villain or whatever, and week after week we got more story and more foundation. Just like I was talking about earlier with the Frieza saga. Like to me, Frieza had to be that nigga because they was scared to say this nigga name, son. Like they didn't want to talk about this nigga.
That's a fact.
They had to get this nigga from Earth. They had to call the big homie from Earth to come to this other planet to deal with this nigga,
go deal
son.
with this nigga, bro. He's a problem.
Yo, imagine pulling out the phone, be like, yo, I gotta call the big homie. Yo, what you doing right now? Yo, I'm on Earth. Like I'm chilling on Earth. Yo, we on another planet.
Also,
and this nigga's running wild out here.
Also, vision me. You're a youth. You're watching the Z Fighters. They've never fought anything like this before. You think they're about to fight Frieza? Wrong. The Ginyu Force, nigga.
Yes.
You're like, who the fuck is these kind of cool niggas? I kind of fuck with them. What's going on right now? Dragon Ball Z had a propensity to make villains very fucking cool. Like,
here's what made Frieza and just like the idea of a Frieza even cooler. Because then these niggas finally fight this nigga. And he's just like, yo, that's not even my final form, nigga.
Yo.
Like, you're fighting base me.
And they keep forming up.
Yeah, it was like, yo, what the fuck am I watching right now? And then, like I said, we're not the only ones who watched it. Like, there were other people who ended up watching it and then created their own mangas. You know what I mean? Like, they were watching this shit just like us. Like, oh, shit, this is so ill. I want to make something like this, nigga. Like, I want to make some shit like this. This is how we got Naruto. This is how transformations in Naruto. This is how we got Luffy.
About the,
like, we got so many
the Saiyan transformation. That shit just changed anime all in general, where it was just like, now everyone has like different fucking forms.
Yeah.
Even though it's like kind of based off tonkatsu, like the transformation type of anime, it was different. It wasn't like, I'm getting a different suit and it's going to cover my face. It was like, no, nigga, my legit physiology is going to change while I do some shit.
That first Goku transformation, nigga.
Kaioken went very fucking stupid.
That shit went hard.
Like,
that shit went hard.
I kind of didn't understand it because I was younger, but I did understand it. And I was like,
I didn't understand it, cool. But I felt them when he was just like, yo, like, Kaioken times like 20, nigga.
Yeah.
And he busted Vegeta ass with that shit. I was like, yo, what the fuck, bro?
Okay. All right. It made sense, though. Also, because I remember he was training and the nigga... And it's funny, and I think that was the first time I was like, oh, Goku kind of dumb, but he do what he feel. Like, I remember King Kai told him to Kaioken and say, yo, bro, never go beyond one.
You gotta chill.
Don't go beyond one. Like, he said you could do Kaioken maybe times 2, but don't go beyond that. And the nigga immediately went times 20. And like, I know King Kai was in heaven like,
come on, bro. Like, we talked.
But then he was watching like, you know, like how Steve Kerr watched Stephen Curry shoot like a 3 from guarded by like 8 niggas from like half court.
Yeah.
And he like,
and then he make it.
And he make it. He's like, all right. I guess I can't be mad. I guess I can't be mad. I guess I can't be mad.
You got that.
Yeah, that's how it feels like watching Goku like do things that people specifically tell him not to do.
Facts.
But it's great because it always works
fantastic.
out. It always works out.
I would talk about like just his influence on me in general, like not even just Goku, but just like Toriyama in general. Like, I honestly, like, part of my drawing like started like learning like muscle structure, because I mean, as a kid, I can't draw for y'all now, but everyone draws muscles the same fucking way. Like, they're big fucking circles with like
I'm
a real.
Do it right now, and I don't even draw
with like a really thin body that's like in a form of like a V, a triangle or whatever. I learned actual body structure watching Dragon Ball and like learning, because this nigga shirt is always ripping off. Like, so I was learning how to draw because of just learning anatomy in general because of Dragon Ball.
Damn,
and before, like, because at the time I didn't have like professional like teachers teaching me. Like, Toriyama was my teacher, nigga. Like, I was learning based on his designs. And now as an adult, being able to like look back at his unique style of like art, that is such high level. Like, I mean, the character designs may not seem super high level, but to take like the basic, and I'm getting mad nerdy, this take the basic like human anatomy and cartoonify it in the way that he did, and then make that such a unique style that all your characters have this facial design, the way you shape the eyes, like the way you shape like the muscle structure and all that. Like that is like high level fucking like art, to be honest with y'all. Like that nigga is crazy. That nigga got a real sick brain for that shit. Honestly, I don't even think, like I said, I don't even think the fucking podcast happens without him playing such a huge role in just Japanese culture for me in general. Like that was my first huge introduction in just Japanese culture, and that, you know, being my gateway drug and just kind of snowballing. Like I mentioned on this podcast before, my first ever website was a Dragon Ball Z website where I was uploading ROMs illegally for all the homies to download, and the site was literally called Trunks 2K, nigga. Like literally, Trunks been my nigga since day one, nigga. Like since I saw that Spanish Trunka numero dos Saiyan, like since then, like I've been like a Dragon Ball fan, and that made me want to just share that. Yes, this is the body. This nigga's not a liar. Like I told y'all, that's the body.
I don't draw at all.
And he just knew what I was talking about.
I just always remember
that's
that
how all
when
the
it
homies
comes
drew,
to Dragon Ball Z, we all learned how to draw strong body proportions.
Yes,
like that.
Exactly same way. But yeah, like, you know, he was responsible for my first website. Because of that first website, I got into graphic design and web design, and like all these different things just came from my love of Dragon Ball. So like I don't even know like where I am, like talent, well, not even talent wise, but like hobby wise, and like the things that I've learned and things that I've like been introduced to, if it's not for fucking Dragon Ball. Like this nigga has, and that's just me. Out of all the people that he's influenced around the world and the different things other people
nigga,
did,
I don't draw, but I know how to draw because Toriyama, nigga. Well, it's not, you know.
And that's just like graphic design. Like we could talk about his influence on gaming, nigga.
Facts.
Like
because
Chrono Trigger, nigga.
Chrono Trigger.
Hey.
Not only Chrono Trigger, but Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest was like one of the most important things, like because he basically invented the slime design, like the design of the slime in every RPG, like ever. Like so. We gotta like thank him for like a lot. He's like a lot.
Like they like after he passed, and you know, like different people were coming out and sharing like their stories about like, you know, their love for him or whatever. I mean, we all knew, but to hear it like validated just made it iller to me. Just for you to hear like, nigga, we came up with Supersonic from fucking Dragon Ball Z, nigga. Like Goku went Super Saiyan. We were like, yo, how do we do a transformation for this nigga? And he's literally fucking Goku, bro. Like literally Supersonic is Super Saiyan Goku, bro. Like I think just even little shit like that, nigga, Shadow's Vegeta. Like like all these little things, like you see them, it's like, oh shit, like it makes so much more sense now, like as an adult, like when you connect these things and
everything
just seeing
is
how
connected.
All these super popular IPs still look up to this nigga, and the ideas that he planted till this day. Like it's fucking ill to me. Cloud's design, like I didn't even think about that when I was like younger, like watching like Cloud in Final Fantasy 7, like the OG Final Fantasy 7. He's Gohan, nigga. Like it's literally
RPG and JRPG that has come out after Dragon Quest, after Akira Toriyama did those designs and put them shits out there, is basically just a child of Akira Toriyama again.
Like one of the things that I definitely wrote down was I remember the guy who designed Tails' design, literally saying that Tails and Sonic's relationship is based on Piccolo and Gohan's relationship. How ill is that, nigga? Like
it's real.
The fact, I would say, like if you managed to even accomplish half of what this nigga did, you could die happy, nigga. Like to know that your hands are in so many pots, even if you weren't a part of creating Sonic, just to know that your ideas were so ill that people looked up to you in all these different fields, was like, yo, that nigga is so yo, we gotta do some Dragon Ball shit somehow, nigga. And put all these little influences across games, across like just all forms of media, nigga. Nigga,
everything is Dragon Ball Z. Everything is Dragon Ball Z.
This shit is crazy. We don't get Mario without Rayleigh. Know what I mean? Well, like the because they talked about like her with like the hat or whatever, and it's based on the Tanuki suit is based on that shit with her like hands out with the flying shit, like 'cause she would like run that way or whatever. Nigga, fucking Toriyama. I told you he's getting his flowers today, bro. Like, I think when people me talking about like his art shit earlier.
Also, Dr. Slump was a big reason why Dragon Ball even happened.
Yeah. Me talking about like his art style earlier. One thing I feel like doesn't get talked about enough when it comes to his art style is his vehicles. This nigga can draw the fuck out of some vehicles, y'all. Like, and it's not even like he's just taking like, oh, I'm just gonna draw a toy. He's inventing
some shit. He's making a new like thing based off of like the imagination of what the technology is and the line of the story.
And just me telling y'all this as an artist, how tough it is and just taking like a blank sheet of paper and creating this vehicle or whatever. And it's not even like the vehicle has like a huge role in whatever it is that he's doing. It's just like a background piece. Like it's not even like a huge thing.
Imagine this. Imagine you're an artist. You have amazing drawing skills. You can draw whatever, right? But then you get a script or a book or a storyboard of like what's about to happen. And then they say to you, I want a gelatinous blob that eats trash but is super weak and is like a basic monster that everybody sees. And that's all they say. And then now you have to just invent that, right? Now in your mind, you have to think of the tone of the story. And then even beyond that, right? What geniuses really do is take a story and go like, well, this is a first monster, right? This is what I believe Toriyama did. And this is, I believe, like, because he was very good at, like, just any type of designs. Like, he could make more serious designs, but they always kind of came out a little playful and whimsical, but they were very detailed. I believe he, like, was looking at this shit from, like, the first draft of Dragon Quest and like their monsters looked hella realistic, almost too realistic, to the point where I think that would not have been a game that like a lot of different generations would have played. It would have been a game like only older people played, and then like it might have just died. Toriyama looked at that, said, this story is a real story and it's a little dark, but it's still like friendly for everybody, and everyone's playing video games now. So he took those designs and said, I'm gonna make it playful, but also as detailed and crazy as possible. And that's how you get that little fucking the same explanation I gave you was the explanation they gave Toriyama. He said a gelatinous blob that eats trash and most things, but it's like a basic monster that everybody meets, and he makes the little drop with the smile on it. And that ass just becomes a slime. And and the slime, any isekai, any RPG you play, you see slimes, and they're mad unassuming because of Akira Toriyama. He changed that shit from being like maybe a nasty sludge puddle, like it, nigga. He not the nigga from Elden Ring who turned slimes into the most gross shit you ever seen before. Yeah, we can talk about him another day, Miyazaki. But like, he was like, yo, this is the advent of video games. We want to reach as many people as possible. I want to tell this very serious story, but we got to make it look sexy, baby.
Yes.
And he did it with his skill. He's amazing.
Talking about talking about drawing before we move on. I like to call this, like, this was my idea of side mission clothing. This nigga knew how to get the drip on niggas, bro.
Yes, sir.
That Badman Vegeta shirt is iconic, nigga. My nigga Piccolo with the hat, fit, with the back, with the tank top, nigga.
Another thing I say is that these niggas be looking at the styles. They be checking for the culture, and I kind of fuck with it.
Goku with the fucking varsity shirt jacket on, nigga. Like, he knew ball.
He knew ball.
He knew ball, bro.
Drip. He knew drip.
Know what I mean? And it's so funny, like, when you think about shit like that and how it influences like future mangakas and shit like that. You see it kind of felt like he knew, all right, this was the basic design of the character. This is the costume that the character usually wears. And then introduces the whole idea, but what if they don't wear that?
Yeah.
What if they just got other shit that they got other drip? And I could imagine that as like as somebody that's just a fan that was influenced to create like manga after him.
But that's where
that's how we get
Bleach.
Like
we get like Naruto,
bro. That's literally where I was going.
You get
you literally get like a Bleach where like fashion is huge in Bleach.
Where
you're a Bleach fan, where they just got that drip
when
off
it's
for
casual
no reason.
time. Everyone's wearing a different fit, and it's very fucking nice.
The only person that's putting their foot on my nigga Trunks' neck when it comes to fashion is Ichigo, nigga.
Yeah.
Like, when he put that shit on, nigga.
He do kind of put that shit on. Niggas be putting that shit on, though, in a lot of like different animes. I think that is also influence from Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, because there were times where, like, okay, niggas never talk about this, but Krillin got a crazy fire fit in Dragon Ball, like with like the Hawaiian shirt and like the pants and like, yo, that shit is hard. They've always just would send niggas out with random great drip, like randomly.
For no reason. Like, yo, it's like when y'all do this shopping, nigga. Like,
I get that it's a cartoon. I get that usually characters wear the same shit all the time.
He was like, nah, we don't do that over here. We got for real. We got taste over here. Know what I mean?
like it.
Now we could talk about just like his because I definitely put a list together, like his influence on just anime, nigga. We was talking about earlier about like the big three. Like, you know, the big three is Bleach, One Piece, and Naruto, nigga. Like, if he's the guy, those are his kids. Like, those are his immediate kids. If you made a family tree, it's Goku at the top and these three niggas after. And after that, they branch off into all their little side. We could do that in like a different episode, but they branch off into like their own little sides. You think of the kid with the devil power trope. Know what I mean? Like, that's literally Ichigo, Naruto, and Luffy. Each one of these niggas is literally somebody that has like a devil or some shit in them. Like, that's ill. You think about Asta and Black Clover, nigga. Itadori and Jujutsu Kaisen.
Willpower, never giving up.
Shinra and Fire Force. Tanjiro and Demon Slayer. Ren and Blue Exorcist. I can go on and on about all the niggas that got like that demon shit in them. That
Yuji.
Listen, exactly. Like, all these different these are all perfect examples of like just the nigga that just has this power inside of them, and they feed on that, and it makes them stronger or whatever. Like, you think Gohan, nigga, like, anytime that nigga get too mad,
he wild out.
Yeah, exactly. And like, you can literally see like just these small, subtle influences across all this anime.
Funnily enough, the scene where the Gohan turned Super Saiyan for the first time and the red line goes through him, I felt like that introduced like a lot of funny, like when somebody's getting mad, they do like a crazy angle zoom in on their face. Like, I feel like that was an influence on that, when niggas is like, oh, he about to rage. This is a rage moment.
You want to know how ill Dragon Ball is? It just kind of came to me. Gohan might be the only likable offspring of a main character, nigga. Boruto is trash. Niggas don't think about Ichigo's kids. Like, literally, it's Gohan, nigga. Like, nobody even thinks.
Even Goten niggas fuck with. Even Trunks niggas
all
fuck
these
with.
Niggas is fly. All these niggas is fly by themselves, nigga. Like, no other anime, like, none. Nobody got fly kids, nigga. Nobody got fly kids.
The only person who got a fly kid, but they not the protagonist, is getting freaks, nigga. But he not the protagonist. And I think Gon has like a daughter or a granddaughter in the future. But I don't know if anybody care.
Only Dragon Ball, nigga. Only them niggas got fly offsprings, nigga. Nobody hates. Damn. Please, if you're watching this episode, listening to this episode, tell me the fly offspring niggas, bro. None is flyer than Gohan.
Who got cool kids?
None of these. Nobody got cool kids. All these niggas' kids is garbage.
No, I'm really like trying to think about this shit now. Like, who has cool children?
Nobody
besides
got cool kids.
Dragon Ball Z.
None, nigga. Like, all these niggas is fly. There's no whack kids. Pan is fly, nigga. There's no whack kids in Dragon Ball, son.
Wow, niggas don't got good children in anime.
No, that's the one piece of sauce that he couldn't pass on to these other Toriyama couldn't pass on to these other niggas,
honestly,
bro.
It's up to you. It's up to you, Oda. It's up to you, Oda, son.
You gotta figure it out.
You gotta figure out how to make the next pirate crew amazing, nigga.
All of these nobody likes Boruto, nigga. Like there's no
and the niggas that do fuck with Boruto be fighting a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
I just like, damn.
It's no fly young niggas, bro. He's the last nigga to do.
But you know what's crazy? Niggas. You know what I will say? And R.P. Toriyama, I love you, but you gotta accept this one. He also started that trend where your kid can't be more jiggy than the parent. Let's be real. He also tried to put his foot down and tell Dragon Ball Z fans in Japan, Gohan's the next protagonist. And they started sending him death threats. And then he took it back. And then he just continued to make Goku like the main character.
Yeah.
So I will say that while damn, he rigged the game and then
and then it just stopped. And everybody was fuck.
And everybody else was like, fuck it. I mean, you're kind of right, brother. Like, I don't want death threats, which is true. But at the same time, you gotta put your foot down sometimes, man. But I will say, maybe in the next 30 years, we're gonna get another good kid. Because I'm not seeing it happening anytime soon. Real talk.
I'm telling you, none of these niggas is fly.
I think people like the characters they like way too much now.
Yes,
like way too much now. They don't want to give it up.
They won't give another character a chance. Know what I mean?
They don't want to give that
or
up.
They're made in a way where they're just not likable. Like, Boruto is not... Yo, I seen way too much shit that your dad been through for you to be a piece of shit son, bro. Like, it doesn't work for me.
Right? I couldn't even get into if he was likable or not because they started doing time traveling. But like, that's another story for another day.
But yeah, like I was just that was just like a really rant. He got the sauce, bro. That's one that
with
part.
The fashion.
He just never passed on nobody else. Like the other mangakas, they couldn't figure that shit out. They just couldn't.
Everything else, the stylized shit, you being fly as fuck.
Yeah.
Like battles being quick, hard hitting. I feel like anime always had like the long dialogues in between like fights and shit.
Yeah.
But I felt like specifically Dragon Ball Z made it where it's like fast movement, action, stop. He just did this.
Yeah,
I can't believe it.
They gotta break it down.
I can't believe that just happened just now. That's fucking amazing.
Yes. A whole monologue on what just basically happened. So, but moving on to like just his anime.
Also, shit talking.
His final anime is Dragon Ball Daima. Know what I mean? And that's I guess you could kind of say that's like his gift. I guess his final gift to the community is Dragon Ball Daima, and I appreciate it because it's so full circle. And what I mean is like you were introduced through this guy through Dragon Ball with his main character that was this lovable kid that was kind of stupid. And he was going on all these adventures with his friends to get Daima, which is essentially still a grown Goku after Z, before Super in timeline.
Before Super, after Z. It's after right Z. After Buu Saga.
Yeah. And then you basically get him once again being a first grader, which is, I think you're like 9 or 10 or something at that time. Once again.
No, in first grader, you're like 6.
Yeah, you're right. 6 or 7. That's how y'all know I don't got kids.
Me neither. I just tried to remember my time. Well, I was like, was I 9 in first grade? But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. And him now basically being an adult because of the time period, just turned into a kid once again with his friends going on fucking adventures. And it just feels like we just went like this whole full circle on in terms of his type of art, because I feel like as much as I do love Z and Super, I feel like Dragon Ball is his heart, like Toriyama's heart, like like we was just talking about earlier about the designs being whimsical and fun, and it reaches more than just one audience. Like kids could enjoy it if you just like the stylized designs and shit like that. And we're right back to that shit again, and it feels more Dragon Ball than it does Z because it's not as serious. It's still whimsical. It's fun. I mean, it's real shit happening, but it's fun. It's it's inviting. Like you can just jump in and just watch this shit. It's jokes. It's wholesome. Like it's a good time, and it feels like if there was ever a way or a time for him to kind of like cap off his career, that would be fucking perfect. Like
True.
to leave the same way I came.
True.
Like, and
also,
that's why
I will
it.
say, as a person that like kind of I guess didn't ask for Dragon Ball Daima or for them to be kids again, it makes a lot of sense for the character of Goku to be back kind of in a kid's body because, you know, he's always pretty carefree until it's time to do what he has to do.
And going back
and
to what
even
you
in
said,
the time where he has to do what he has to do, like it's just like you said, and I'm gonna use the word that the people that my Facebook brothers are gonna hate, but it's kind of a return to form on who Goku is. Like he's
to tying into what you said about he wears his inner child on the outside.
and now it's
now
outside.
This is
now
literally
it's his
outside.
inner child on his literal outside. And
Literally
here's
on
the
the
thing.
outside.
I think it was perfect for. Can we get into, I guess, talking about Daima?
Yeah.
I think it's perfect that they did it like in a sense where the villain kind of don't know who Goku and them really are. So they're thinking like we turn these strong niggas into kids and we lit. But they don't realize that these niggas might be stronger as children.
Bro.
Which like you fucked up. Cause now it's all emotions and like catching up now with the times, which is fucking nuts. And then again, another thing that they set up on when he got to the demon world that I was like, oh fuck, they're doing it again. And then when Vegeta get there, I'm like, they're doing it again. Is that there was like the air is heavier here. So like, nigga, y'all are in the hyperbolic time chamber once again. Y'all are about to come out this bitch strong as fuck.
And here's the ill shit about all this. Let's say them niggas failed and they gotta stay as kids. I couldn't think as a villain, the worst case scenario, if we're going full circle, Goku being 7 with the abilities of a Z Fighters and the Buu Saga Goku at 7.
And Vegeta. And Vegeta.
At
and
7.
Piccolo as well.
At 7.
Yeah, but
so
also,
when this nigga becomes his
I'm saying
natural
when
age
these
again,
niggas, they all, because they said, I was rewatching Dragon Ball Z recently. They said at 15 years old, every Saiyan has a growth spurt.
Yes.
So when both them niggas hit 15, it's fucking up.
Yo.
Like it's like beyond up because like I think in this universe there'll be Gods of Destruction way earlier.
Bro.
Like
easily. Like you're literally putting we talked about it earlier. You're putting the fighting acumen of a adult Goku who fought Frieza, Cell, Boo.
Goku
He been training. He know how to go Super Saiyan level 2.
Goku's
level 3.
Yeah, Goku's instinctually a genius, and then Vegeta, who's legit a fight genius.
And then you give these niggas
a reset.
30 years past. Like you rewind time 30 years.
Rewind time for y'all.
With all the knowledge.
With all the knowledge and like and fighting and training that y'all have. And we're add more to that.
And we're gonna put that in the body of a 7-year-old. And then to top it off with what he just said about the atmosphere, where now these niggas is fighting on like 500 times normal gravity.
When they come back to Earth, nigga, it's cooked. Like, they're protecting Earth forever. Like, no, literally, like, forever. Like,
yo, when you say you think about that part, one, like, I want y'all to think about what I said earlier about this being a fun, whimsical anime, because it is.
It is.
But I want you to think about that part, too. This nigga Toriyama is sick, bro.
He's a sicko. He's legit a sicko.
You are a sick man, bro.
He's going to send these niggas back as kids over there to train over. Right? They're going to have their youth body and do that. They're not going to fail. Now, we just talking about, even in case they fail, like, they're not going to fail. They're going to go back. But guess what? They got to train as a youth again.
Bro.
Them niggas about to pull up with some new information. You seen the video a lethal shooter shooting the gummy bears in the bottle? And he missed the first one and he go, I understand it now. And then he just hits the second one, he hits the third one, he hits the fourth one. That's them when they get back to their adult body. Because I don't know if niggas remember when these niggas shrunk. What was the first thing they did? Let me see what my combos look like, right? And they're like, damn, I'm off because I'm so tiny.
Yeah.
When them niggas get their fucking bodies back, nigga, oh my fucking God. what are we doing here? Why are they just training them for free?
Yo, that's how you know Goku's an ill nigga, because he turns into a kid. He's just like, yo, let me see how my kick works. Like, let me see how
nigga
far
did they say, oh shit, I missed. Because I'm so small, I guess.
Nigga did it the second time and almost cracked the building, bro. Like, Goku's the illest nigga.
Also, let me go fly around a little bit.
Yeah, let me practice flying. Like, let me get this shit together. These niggas is different, son. These niggas is fucking different. And even with all that shit going on, it's still hilarious. Like, it's still fun. Like, the way they created the demon world. Just the way Goku. Glorio. Just the way Goku is excited about being in like this new realm or whatever.
Being back.
And another thing, which I know is gonna come is gonna be a thing at some point in this anime, is I do like the idea of they have fusions, but they have it in the form of bugs. They have sensu beans all in the form of bugs, and this nigga made sure he got one of each. He got one that resurrects, he got one that gives you stamina, he got the fusion shit, and he has something else. So at some point, we're gonna see like Kid Gogeta or some shit. Like, it's gonna happen,
Kid
nigga.
Gogeta gonna go crazy because we already seen Gotenks, nigga, as a child.
You know,
so
it's
now
we
gonna get Child Gogeta.
Nigga, it's gonna happen.
Honestly, they might get freaky and give us Child Vegito as well. Nigga, they might go crazy. Remember, they're in the demon realm. It might be Potara areas, nigga.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
It's gonna happen.
Are we gonna get a fat Kid Gogeta? Because that would be a fucking amazing. Yo, honestly,
I'm telling you. I am personally enjoying Daima. Like, it's fun. It's different. It's different from what you would expect from like a Z, but you should expect that just because these niggas is kids. Know what I mean? So like, they're gonna be on adventures, having fun, and I just like how it opens up the Dragon Ball world even more. Because then you get to find out that the fucking Supreme Kai had an older brother this whole time.
Yeah.
This nigga was walking around like he Pac.
That's evil as shit.
Whole time you getting noogies from your fucking older brother, nigga. This nigga's giving you fucking swirlies and shit.
I'm crying.
Like, you was lying the whole time.
So lit. My brother think he's so lit.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, why you hate the nigga so much?
All of a sudden you find us like, yo, I thought you was the big homie. You mean you got an older brother too, nigga?
Nah, but his older brother worked with the whack niggas.
Yeah, then you find out that the whole time this nigga Deborah was like loved, nigga. Like,
yo, he was actually a good person.
Yo, like,
what happened?
Yeah,
like, but then I know what happened. Bobbity fucking scammed his ass. Bobbity is just Trump.
Yeah, yo.
Bobbity just Trump.
Like,
he just pulled up, finessed a bunch of niggas, and then got fucking smoked.
This nigga read the Bucky handbook, the Soviet shit to this nigga Deborah. This nigga said train car.
That's hilarious.
And he's just been fucked up ever since, bro. So so like, I've been enjoying Daima. Like, we're not giving you guys like a whole breakdown. Definitely go watch it if you haven't watched it. It's definitely a wholesome, really enjoyable anime. What I did want to talk about, like, kind of rounding this all out, is speaking of voice actors, there's a lot of them because, you know, with Akira Toriyama passing, that was another thing I started thinking about. So you think about like different voice actors that might have passed, you know, from you know, shows that you either enjoy or, you know, you just kind of take for granted. So literally the nigga that did and this is not even anime related, the nigga that did Dale Gribble on King of the Hill, that nigga passed. He passed at 64.
RP Dale.
You know what I mean? RP. Shorty that does what's her name? Rachel Lillis. She's a voice actor for fucking Pokemon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She passed at 46 because she was the one who did Misty. She did Misty and Jessie from Team Rocket. And OG Jigglypuff, like the Jigglypuff.
Yeah.
She did all that shit. That's crazy. And she did work on Hunter x Hunter, nigga. Like, she was out here really.
She was too real.
She was working. You know what I mean? Atsuko Tanaka. That nigga is actually Hanami on Jujutsu Kaisen. That nigga passed. Who else? He also did Kusanagi on Ghost in the Shell. Know what I mean? Like, all these niggas is like, it's crazy to me that so many of these people passed in their 60s. Like, literally all of them around 60, 65, between that age. Like, they all literally passed, I won't say around the same time, but pretty fucking close, all within like the past year. That's you right. Had Asuno, who just brought up age 63, Melody on Hunter x Hunter. Know what I mean? If you guys are like real no ball when it comes to Hunter x Hunter, who Melody was. Zazie the Beast, nigga, from the new Trigon anime. I'm not familiar with Kaiju number 8, but she was the mysterious Yoju.
Oh no.
Yeah, like passed. Like a lot of these people recently passed. And one of the things that I think at least I would say sometimes I take for granted is even when an anime isn't dubbed and it's just the subtitle, I always think it's funny how like when you're watching it, you turn the volume up. You don't understand what these niggas saying,
but you know
like,
who it is.
It puts you in that vibe.
It makes sense.
You know what I mean? It adds context to like when they're upset or whatever. And these people put their whole like everything into these voice roles. Like when you think of like even English voice actors, like the dude who does I forgot my son's name, who does Goku. That's one of my favorite voice actors. That nigga, no one yells like this nigga, bro.
Yo, at all.
No one yells like this nigga.
Goku is a shorty.
And I
Goku's
think,
a shorty.
And probably my favorite voice acting job from him is when Goku goes Super Saiyan 3, nigga. That yell, they were like, I don't even know how true it is. You guys can search for yourself. This nigga almost passed out doing that shit. Like,
yo, dead ass.
It was like a 3-minute yell, my nigga. Like he wasn't even punching in. Like this nigga was giving it to you one take. Oh, nigga, crazy. That shit is crazy to me. Like that. Even speaking of that, that's one of my favorite clips in all of anime, and I use that, which is funny because I don't know if it's still on Apple Music, but somebody clipped it. That's how you know Dragon Ball is such a like popular thing in the hood. Like niggas clipped it and turned it into a song, and I use that when I work out, nigga. Like when that nigga literally said, "Yo, this is Super Saiyan 2." And this right here, nigga, this is how you go even further beyond.
I was like,
nigga.
What's happening?
I was like, what do you mean by that?
This is not a real thing.
Even
this
Piccolo was like, what does he mean? Like,
I was like, yeah, this can't be a real
like, thing. You can't go further beyond, nigga. What are you fucking saying right now?
This don't exist.
Yo.
Why are you saying that?
Yo, and then this nigga puts on a fucking clinic voice acting, bro. Like, that is one of my favorite, like, just anime scenes ever. Like, everything they did with it, the music, the build-up. They cooked. Like you literally see like news reports, like people are like worried, like it's like a hurricane or some shit. Like TVs are breaking, like buildings are like being lit from the ground. This nigga's just literally over there going crazy. This nigga Goku is different, son. This nigga is so different till this day. And I know this nigga's a Vegeta fan, but I always think this shit is funny.
Goku's fire.
This is always funny to me. Is he knew he was that nigga and he didn't want to hurt his man's feelings, and he let that nigga fuck him up. Whole time he had a whole bullet in the chamber, nigga.
He knew
he knew if I went Super Saiyan 3 on this nigga right now, son,
I was
putting him in the fucking dirt. He was like, you know what? Yo, I'm gonna just go 2. Like this nigga's mad at me. I see where he coming from. It's not my fault that this is all I do, nigga. Like this is all I do. And I understand, and I'm not trying to put that on him. Fuck me up, bro. Like, let it out. Just let it out.
I'm crying.
And then when the nigga finds out that he had the whole clip the whole time, it's like, God damn, fucking Goku, nigga. You are the best, nigga. Fuck.
Yeah, dead ass fuck, dude.
It was like, what could you do, nigga? Like, what can you do? I think that shit is ill, and that's just a testament to his character. Because honestly, if a nigga rolled up on me thinking that he was gonna fuck me up, whole time I got a whole nother level for this nigga. See, we was turning up.
But that's the
nigga.
thing about Goku. Goku is the nigga who would shoot a nigga in his leg. The nigga falls, and then he's like, "Can you heal?" And then the nigga's like, "Yes." He's like, "All right, I'm gonna put the gun down, and we just gonna fight with hands."
we just scrap.
Like he's that type of nigga where he's like, "I have the advantage, but I'm not gonna use it."
I can fuck you up. I know that, but I'm gonna still try to keep it fair because I know this is important to you. Because he could have fucked up Vegeta. Like, he could have ended that shit. He could have definitely ended that shit.
He could have cooked
But he was like, yo, this is my mans. We've been together all this time. He got kids here. Look how far he went to, like, be on my... He let himself get possessed just to fuck with me, son. Like,
that ass.
How am I gonna disrespect this man? I can't disrespect this man. And then technically he did kind of disrespect that man. Because if my pride tells me this whole time, nigga, this whole time, you had a whole nother level... Come on, bro. You don't respect me.
You don't respect me at all.
You don't respect me. You should have watched me. Should have watched me.
That's who Goku is.
That's who Goku is, bro. That's who Goku is. And that's who fucking Toriyama is, nigga. Because the whole time, nigga, like, you was this ill nigga in all these... And to be so ill that you were... influential in all these different things and never show off. Like, you never walked around like, yo, I'm that nigga. Like, you kept it low key with the biggest anime of all time, influencing even when you were watching like the Olympics, when like niggas would win some shit and then they do like a Goku fucking like a Kamehameha pose. Niggas do the fusion poses and like fucking club pitches and shit. Like, you were everywhere, bro, and you were still like a super humble nigga. And you gotta respect that. Like, your character was literally just like you, nigga. Like, you had all these fucking levels and all these different things and accolades and things you were able to do, and you still stayed low key. You died quietly. You died as quietly as you came in. And I don't even mean that in like a disrespectful way. Like, I mean like in the most humblest of ways.
True.
For a nigga that doesn't need to be humble.
That's true.
That's ill. That's fucking true. Ill. That's ill. And I personally respect that, because we just spent all this time talking about all your accolades and you never did it. That's ill to me. Like, for everything you accomplished, you kept going. Like, nigga, you had a whole nother anime already lined up. Nigga, like, and who knows what else you would have probably been working on if you were still here. Like,
that's a fact.
That's crazy. Like, you didn't even have to do that anymore. You know how many people would have quit after Z?
Yeah.
They've been like, yo, I made enough money, nigga. I'm straight. You still kept working, bro. Like, 68, still putting out new shit after you already made it. That's just to go. That just to me says like how much you just, for the love of the game. We were talking about that shit earlier with my nigga Mitch. Love of the game, baby. Like, you really just love what you do. And that's inspiring for me, because I love what I do. I love this podcast. I love art. Like, I love doing all that shit. And it's like, this nigga did all that shit.
He was a dude that like kind of made us realize the things that we actually like.
Yes.
Which I think is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Very fucking fire. And like, you know, let's just shout out Akira Toriyama, man.
That's
Without him,
I feel like
we wouldn't have a lot.
That I guess you could say is my final thing, is just respect to him, respect to that man. Rest in peace. All the people that you've influenced across not just anime, clearly gaming, cinema, fashion in any way, like music, everybody that you've touched in some way, even if you didn't even know that you did that shit, like, you will like live on for centuries to come, bro. Like,
that's a fucking fact.
And as an artist, that is honestly, like I said it earlier, like, even if I accomplish 1/4 of what you did, and just even 1/4 of like that influence, I'd die like fucking happy.
Yo,
like,
we
so
did.
You did that shit,
more
bro.
than enough at that point.
Facts. So yeah, you got any final words before we wrap?
My only final words is RP Akira Toriyama. He made a lot of my favorite characters: Gohan, Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo. Actually, the whole cast. I fuck with the whole cast. One of the few shows where I actually fuck with the entire cast. So, yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like very important to us, very important to the culture, and RP, man.
Facts. So this has been another issue of the Mighty Metahumans podcast, providing you with that high quality nerd commentary. Subscribe, leave a review, tell a friend. As always, you know what I mean? If you were listening to this episode and you wish you got to see my nigga do like the Goku pose earlier, you gotta get the Patreon. $5. Sign up, become a Gene Lantern. You get every episode that we've ever put out on video. You know what I mean? Because we've been here wilding. Sign up for Dennis Plus. You know what I mean? You're gonna get them Night Deviant episodes. My nigga Gas got some shit coming. Like, there's mad shit. And it's $10 a month. We have never raised our prices. We not Netflix. We not Amazon. All these niggas is gassy, y'all. We got way better business acumen than this nigga David Zaslav does with Max. Like, you don't got to worry about none of that shit. We got you. You can find the podcast on all social media sites as The Mighty Metas. You can find me on all social media sites as Old Dirty Dennis. That's OLDIRTYDENNIS. You can find my cards on Etsy. You know what I mean? If you're like a Goku type nigga and you got like a whole nother clip in the chamber and your homie is feeling himself and he tried to fight you and you know you could bust his ass, but you let him bust your ass instead, you can get that nigga a card when he finds out that you was being nice on the nigga. So you can get him a card from me. You know what I mean? Go down Etsy, type in Art by Den. That's ARTBYDENN. You can find my son Colton
The Colton Show __ on Twitter, or The Colton Show on YouTube, TikTok, everywhere else. YouTube, TikTok, Twitch. My portfolio. The coltonshow.myportfolio.com, and thecoltonshow.com is my website.
Check his shit out. Buy his merch. Send us home. Give us a quote.
My final quote would just be
I'm gonna give y'all one more as a bonus because it just kind of came to me as one of my favorite scenes out of Dragon Ball. Because I told y'all earlier about always seeing Planet Namek as a kid, and then finally getting the dub version when Toonami came out. When my nigga Piccolo absorbed Nail, he got like the power boost, and he was like, "Yes, I can do this. I can win.
I can win. Yes. I have the power. I have the energy. I feel incredible." I fucking love that shit.
Yo, we out.
I fucking love that shit. That shit is amazing.
Oh shit.